We're going to start the presentation. Tim will take it from here.
My name is Tim. I'm a Navy photographer. Did it for 20 years. May not show here, may not be able to. This is a Wolverine production, like the dipping bird production that we've had in the past. Wolverine deep dipping. And also I'm from Michigan, so comment was made that it does look like me. Does look like me in the morning before coffee. All right, the presentation's on photographing your ship model. I changed it a little bit. It's going to be tailored more towards the end, towards doing a build log. Which I think would be very good for most all of us. Some things we want to talk about. Why do we want to photograph a ship model? Submission for publication, that might be one. Documentation for insurance, like I has a bunch of those. Supporting aid for training lecture, just like right here. Part of the build log I'll hit on later. You might have a personal web page you want to put your photos on, and you might want to sell your photos on your your model on your web page, so you can have documentation of your ship and your build log, and the prospective owner might like to have. Reasons are endless. Your reason that you want to photograph your ship. Okay. That one, I am not really sure. Flowers. It's an early flowers. How do we know that? And what else? The mast is ahead of the superstructure instead of behind. The early ones, the masts were up forward. And there's no radar. Okay, photographing your model. Camera. Endless cameras. Big choice right there. Some people have collections at home. I've got one. That's not my collection. Another good one to use. Most people are probably familiar with is a DSLR. Digital lens. For this, digital back, not lens, but digital back, single lens reflex. They run from relatively inexpensive to as much money as you want to throw away on one. The choices are endless. A mirrorless camera. I think Ron's got one. How do you like it? Love it. Love it? Any drawbacks? Drawbacks?
Every camera I've used, take the picture exactly when you push this shutter, like, oh my God.
You have to mirror. Do you have any problems with parallax on it?
I don't think I've been in too many architectural situations.
Okay. Good cameras. They're really hitting the market big. Four by 5. Set up a studio lighting setup. You can get some awesome photographs with a camera like that. Matter of fact, that's the camera I learned in photo school, Pensacola. Big thing is, nowadays, you don't have to worry about loading film on these. They have digital backs. Same way with a 220 camera, which really makes it great. The pixels are great. They're sharp. Sharper than film because you don't have to worry about grain from film.
Easily correct.
Exactly. Hasselblad 120. Get your money out. Big money. Digital backs though. So if you have an old Hasselblad, odds are that you get a digital back for it. It'll save you a whole lot of money. What most all of us have, cell phones. Cell phones are great. The new ones are having high 15 megapixel or more. They do good close-ups. You can blow them up. Very good. The only thing is you're going to blow them up much bigger than 8 by 10. On a website or for printing, they're starting to get a little grainy, if I want to call it grain, noise, a little bit of noise in them. They're not super sharp like dedicated DSLR or film camera, but they're a good choice. And you need something to hold your camera with. Bingo, tripods. They're making tripods now. Selfie stick tripod with also will have a remote shutter release on them. Great. They're inexpensive. You can move them around. The light meters in the new telephones are awesome. They're much better than what's in my Nikon DSLR. They're great in low level. You can do a full studio setup. You got big ships like Gene, that's what you're going to need if you want to shoot the whole ship. Once you get the lighting right, you shoot all day on it. Not just the front and sides, shoot everything. Most of us aren't going to do that. Most of us are going to do probably this. Little light box or a light tent. Ron's had them in here. He's used them. They work quite well. You like them, don't you? Even lighting, no harsh shadows. They're a good choice. They're easy to make your own out of cardboard. All you need is cold lamps showing there. The only thing you'll need to do in your photo when you're done editing is to balance the daylight. You can photograph them outside in natural light. They really look good. Try to do it in an overcast day because your lighting will be even. You won't have harsh shadows to deal with. And all you have to do is worry about rain or low-flying birds. Balloons. Here you go, on broad daylight, guys taking pictures of his RC hydroplane. Bright sun, but it really works nice on the rooster tail. Lights it up. See it quite well. Just you have to think about how you want to photograph and what you want to depict. Close-ups, natural light, no harsh shadows in there. You're getting a little around the steam engine, but anybody that's really into photographing their stuff, or even on your phone, you can change your shadow detail. You can lighten it up and pulls a lot of that right out of the shadows. Cell phones are really the way to go. Photographing your model, bench work, or a build log. Shots while you're building your ship. That's really the best way to, in my estimation. If you're selling it, you can give your build log to the prospective owner. That way he has a record of how his model was built. For yourself, you go back and look at something, well, how did I do this again? Bingo, you go back, this is how I did it. Now, build logs are fun. You can show to yourself and everybody else the progress you're making on your ship model. Start out by showing your kit before it even comes out of the box. Lay your parts out. Show everybody what nightmare you've decided to build. Many of us will say, oh crap, why did I want to do that in the first place? Look at all these parts. Good way. If you're doing a carved hull, cut out your templates. Take shots of those. Show how the templates are used to carve your hull. And these were taken just with my 35 millimeter on my bench, just with the lighting there that's supplied that I work under. Nothing fancy. Next one. More progress on the hull when you're painting it, and supply more photos along the line. You can see the history of your build. Superstructure. From putting it together, painting. The next step, get close-ups, get them down on your building mat. Close-ups are great. If you can't get too close, take the shot anyway. In the software, you can crop it, and they'll blow it up for you. Just make sure you keep your photo the same size. Or the same part, on the PT boat, showing the dual 50 on it, and back over the engine compartment. They look good when they're shot like that. With close-ups, people can see what you're doing. Shots like that would even be good for a publication, a story for a model magazine, or anything like that to support what you've been doing. Shots of, in this case, the torpedoes tubes where I did it. Brass tubes, it's all they are, is a brass tube, but all this, everything else that goes on, they come together. They look like the real thing, get close-up shots. And then you can even take pictures of them sitting on the model before they're painted. And, are we still there? Okay. Before they're painted, and what it's going to look like on your next step. I had somebody come over here and run my mouse. More steps in the build log. Go ahead. Showing the cowl vents, the 20 millimeter, the struts for the caps up on the bow, how it's been measured out, lined up, step by step, build log. Showing the fittings and arm movements on this. Completed kit. When you show, I've got added discharge points underneath the model. They made suction points for me. Everything underneath is like the regular PT boat. It has built a model. Building actual photo. If you can't get a photo, you might find some artwork. I found that online. That's why it's good to go along with it. That's it. Short and sweet. You need help or you want to do one? We're happy to help you. The techniques I can show you. We have a long model, big model. Photo stacking. Taking pictures just like this. Taking the whole picture. Take a series of photographs. Focus all the way down the field, all colors. Software programming all together. I'm using right now at home. Where I really use my phone right now. But the cell phone is doing good. And that's one of the things. Pardon me? Yeah. Cameras are getting great control.
I like that a lot of the photographs on that green button map. That automatically gives you something to scale.
Scale and contrast too.
And contrast, but it's always good to have something that shows the scale. Using any of these, a halo light or a ring flash?
No, I don't have one. I would if I had one. I don't have one.
Well,
But
I
you
thought some of them looked like there were no shadow at all.
Yeah, you don't need to. If you light it right, play with it. Play with it. So you get, you can take a zillion digital photographs. They don't cost anything. No good. Nothing. Not like film.
Nikon's, fortunately, back when, this whole way back. And if I was setting up a studio shot, I'd use 5, 6, 7, 8, whoa, and then take that back off with 35 back.
Pro video shoot 8x10 stuff.
Yeah.
They shot big things or ads, photo back. I mean, pull right back. Instantly see it, see if the lighting works.
Format, show the house light. Does medium format really matter today? You're not using film anymore.
Depends on what you want to use it for. If you're working for a newspaper or a magazine that wants a size format, then yes. But for yourself, your own build log, I'm thinking yourself. Right? Just make sure you've got something. Buy a $30 tripod, selfie stick. It also tripod with a remote. The only problem with cell phones is getting them to focus where you want to. Then if you can't do that, just go back a little farther. Take the overall picture. Superstar, tap on it where you make sure it wants to focus there, and take your shot, then blow it up. It comes in 99% of the time. You're going to capture what you want.
And because any suggestions for eliminating glare models in a plexiglass case?
If you're shooting a DSLR, polarizer lens. If you're shooting cell phones, I've never tried. You might be able to hold one up in front of it, but you're going to lose light. But if you take the cover off, always take it.
That's what I ended up doing. That was great.
Shoot it at an angle so you're out of as much as the glare as you can. It's like when you go to the museums or stuff you want to shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, regarding cameras, do you have any experience with any scopes? I mean,
That's a personal question.
which end of it?
Would you like to share any of yours?
Okay, let me rephrase that. Because, I have an interest in taking shipboard pictures. Well, and in order to make a small camera in an eye level kind of scenario at deck level, I mean, it's you can't get a full-size camera in there. You'd have to either do it with mirrors or if you had an endoscope.
Like you do.
Yeah.
If anybody hasn't seen his build log,
But there's some cheap ones out there, and that's what I have, a cheap one. And my question was, are there any out there that are worth?
I haven't used it. First I've seen anybody using build logs is you.
Yeah.
So his build logs are bad. They put this stuff.
Hard to find, but I've got a small Olympus digital, has a super close-up phone. I use it for work, taking pictures of products.
How do you find it? The depth of field is on pretty good.
Yeah, it kind of works really great. Close up and then it's got super.
But when you really get close, then you got to worry about depth of field.
And it doesn't paralyze.
Good. Yeah, parallax, if anybody doesn't know, a lot of the older view cameras, your lens would be up here, you're mounted here, and your viewing lens would be on top of it. You really got in close to your subject to take a picture. You're looking over the top of where you want to shoot on your photo or your person or your ship or whatever, flowers in the garden. The lens is down below. And you're shooting, you're not seeing, they're not coming together when they get too
Now
close.
you're looking at the screen.
Right, right.
The other thing is, when I mentioned architecture, if you're shooting the Empire State Building, the sides are gonna meet at the top. But with a view camera, you've got the plate or the film and then the lens. If the lens moves up and stays exactly parallel with your film, you'll eliminate that convergence.
That's called keystone.
Right, but very few, now I had a bellows for my Nikon.
Mm-hmm.
I could do it, but very few small format cameras today will have that. So beautiful.
There's 120 cameras out there. It was, I had one, brand, Veronica had a 120 Hilton shift lens for their camera, but it was ungodly expensive. At that time, it was like a $4,000 lens. So, wow. For your own stuff, unless you're in business, most people are going to look at that. Your eye doesn't fix parallax or keystoning. Just like you look at railroad tracks, they go to a point all the way down. But you're not going to think anything's wrong because that's how your brain sees it.
I had a Veronica because I couldn't afford a hospital.
Me too. Anybody else?
Okay, all right, very good, short and sweet. All right, well, that concludes the presentation. Next month, we'll have the coronation parade to follow. And,
Open bar?
no.
Oh.
And that concludes the meeting for today. Any, well, we'll see you guys online. Tom, Mort, Bill.
I still have a Volkswagen CC for sale. Cheap. Nice car.
And next month's presentation I will be giving on the DE that I built. Excruciating detail. So, come with a box of lunch. No. Yes. All right. Lunchtime. See you next month.
Have a good month. Stay well.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Confusing that with mine. Yeah, mine says Hampton Bay National.